Greetings in the name of the Most High Yah. It's your boy King Yedaya, aka King Solomon, staying wise in life and in these markets. And right now I'm gonna do a live trade breakdown on excuse me, a live trade breakdown on NZDUSD, and give you some of the reasons why I'm in this trade and stuff like that. And pardon my voice, I just came out of the gym, working out hard and stuff like that. I guess like it creates like a little, I don't know what to call it, if you call it congestion or something like that, whatever it is. But anyway, on Forex Factory we had some news come out from the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. So the press conference came out, and I listened to the press conference and stuff, and they gave you some insight as to why they left the interest rate as is, you know what I'm saying? So last night the RBNZ decided to leave the OCR at its current level, but by then most of the market reaction had already happened, right? So the bank held rates unchanged at 0.25% today, but the policy statement and the projections included in the monetary policy. So basically what that means is that they didn't raise interest rates, right? So the reason that's kind of, well, that's not good for the currency, or that's not good for investors, right? If you want to invest in a currency, if the interest rate of that currency is high, that means it's a better return on your investment, right? But if they have the interest rate at 0.25% instead of something like, let's say if they raise it to like 2%, right? You'll get 2% back on your back return on your investment, how much ever you put in. Like if you put in $1 billion here, like if you put in $1 billion, or you buy the New Zealand dollar, like let's say you change it from one currency, or let's say you use the US dollar, and you buy $1 billion worth of New Zealand dollar, right? You'll only get back 0.25% interest. But if the central bank raises the interest rate to 2%, then you'll get 2% back on your $1 billion. You know what I mean? So they decided not to raise interest rates, and the reason for that, if I'm getting what they're saying correctly, is that the economy is good as is. They don't need to raise the interest rates to like quell what is this called, inflation and stuff like that. They're basically saying that the economy is strong, it's not overheated, the prices aren't overwhelming where they have to like raise the interest rates to make money more expensive, so money stops circulating as much, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of read up on what interest rates are to kind of get the full grasp of what inflation means and stuff like that. So inflation basically means it's the high prices of goods, right? The more commodities and food and stuff like that go up in price, it's the less the money is worth. You know what I'm saying? So when they raise the interest rate, it kind of quells that a little bit. It forces the price to go down because there's less money available just running around the place, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, seeing that they didn't raise the interest rates, and that's considered dovish, and people wouldn't really invest in that, they'd probably sell the New Zealand dollar and buy something else, right? So let's go over to the US dollar. So now the US dollar, let's see, this is the 4-hour chart. What happened with the US dollar is that it kind of gained a lot of strength here. All of a sudden it just gained some strength, right? The reason, I don't really know exactly why, you know what I'm saying, but because right now inflation is kind of raising, it's kind of going higher in America and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe that's the reason. I don't know the full economics. I'm still trying to study that as to why inflation is kind of is going higher in America and stuff like that. So it's good to know these things if you trade in Forex and stuff like that. It's good to learn economics and why things are happening, you know what I'm saying? It's like fundamental analysis. It's good to know why things are happening, why you're making the trades, you know what I'm saying? So we had a resistance level here, See, I labeled it right here. This was my area here. You see we had this rejection right here before. Let me pull out the arrow. Right, so we had this prior rejection here, price fell. Right, let me try and make this a little bigger. Right, so where we at? Right, let me get rid of this, do that over. Right, so we had this rejection up here. That's where I had this rectangle right here. This is like my resistance zone going all the way across here. So we had this prior rejection here. Price went down, pulled up a little bit, went down again. Then we caught this bid right here and people started buying, right? So the dollar kept on going up, and then we pulled back a little bit, and this is when we catch the real bid. Like, people started buying the dollar right here. So with that happening now, I was watching what it was doing, like at the resistance level, right? So when we got up to the resistance level, it did what is expected, which it slows down and it started moving sideways. Let me try and make that a little bigger. I know there's a lot of stuff on my chart, so let me make that bigger. Right, so we had this sideways movement. That's when it slows down at the resistance level. This is the resistance level right here. Right, so it slowed down here, took its time, pulled back a little bit. Then we got buyers coming in here again, and we finally pushed through this resistance level, which is right here. Right, so now we up at this point right here, which is looking good. Like, but I must say, let me go down to the 1 hour chart. Let's see what the volume is looking like down here. So now when you're looking at this, right, we had the push up, it went sideways, right? Then we had the push up here in volume. Volume is pushing up, so we're looking good. All of this is in correlation with the volume, right? Because you need rise in volume for rise in prices, and you need rise in volume as well for fall in prices, right? Because it needs effort in both directions, you know what I'm saying? And volume just signifies activity, right? So if it's actively going up, you need volume to actively be going up as well. You don't want, like here for instance, right? This is why we got this kind of slowdown here as well, and we had this sell-off. Price was going up. You see the candles started getting smaller, but then we have volume falling off, right? So that's when the selling came in. Traders like to look at these kind of technical stuff of volume and price correlation, and if it's out of sync, meaning this is going up while this is going down, sellers are gonna hit it, right? They're gonna sell a lot at this point, which was like the R3 level, which is a significant resistance level, right? So with all of that coming into play at the same time, you got this big drawdown here. But the buyers stepped in because we're in an uptrend, right? So the buyers just took that as a buying opportunity to buy cheaper, right? So they stepped in, bought it up. Volume still dropped off a little bit, right? And then in the beginning of this session here at 5 o'clock today, then we started pushing up slowly in the Asian session. Then we got this massive volume coming in here at 8 o'clock, right? So I was looking at it to see if it's gonna break this resistance level, right? Let me see, let me pull this across, see if I can get the edge right. So this is my resistance zone right here. One second. Just wanted to point out that rectangle right there. That's my resistance zone. So I was looking for price to kind of break through that level, right? So we broke through at 8 o'clock, and we got the nice little pullback on this candle, right? Let me go down to like a 15 minute. so you can see where this pullback happened. So now the rectangle is here, right? We got the push through here, and then we got this nice pullback at 2130, right? So at around this time, this is where I entered my trade, because we got the nice little pullback. This is my selling opportunity on the NZDUSD. So the dollar got a little weak, the NZD pushed up, so that was my nice entry level. But I'm gonna show you when we get to the NZD chart, right? So we always looking for better prices, for better entries, you know what I'm saying? So when you get the breakout, you wait for price to pull back, right? But I'm doing the reverse of when I'm trading the NZD USD. I'm doing the reverse of what this is doing. So if this is gaining strength, I'm trying to sell the NZD USD. So let's go over to that chart now. Let's see, right? So at, where is it, 2130, right? So you see what happened here at 2130. Let's see, where's my entry? 2130. Right. I see my entry was somewhere here. So yeah, we got this rejection right here, and then we got this this push down right here. What level is this here? Let's see, that's my S3, right? So S3, anything below S3 in a downtrend, I'm looking to sell, right? So we got the rejection up here at this green level here is yesterday's low. These green kind of little crosses right here, that's yesterday's low. So if we push up against yesterday's low and we can't push above that, that's signifying again there's weakness in the NZD USD. So we have these things in coming into play, right? The NZD USD, I mean the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, they didn't raise interest rates, so investors are not looking to get into the NZD USD, right? They're looking to sell that. Then we have the US dollar pushing up, gaining strength, and this is the cross pair I'm trading. This is why I took this pair, New Zealand versus the US dollar, right? So with New Zealand being the lead in this pair, if New Zealand is destined to be weak and the US dollar is destined to be strong, that means that this is going to continue lower, right? So when we got this push up here to yesterday's low and couldn't push through, that's signaling, yeah, we definitely pushing down further, because you see we already in a downtrend, right? You see, coming from all up here, we already in a downtrend. So that was good confirmation for me to enter this trade, and we have some nice volume. What kind of this is what make me take this trade as well. Look at the massive volume coming in here, right, for this candle, and then we get this big wick rejection. That's just signifying that yes, sellers are definitely in control, right? And then we start to get this nice little cascade. Volume fell off a little bit, so I was looking at that. Then volume pushed up again for this candle, so I was like, all right, let me take this trade, you know what I'm saying? And I took this trade. Actually this stuff here is wrong. I think I actually took this trade. No, this is correct, right? So I took this trade at this level right here. So we broke S3, and what was this? The yearly S2, right? This white line here, we broke the yearly S2. So took this trade right here, enter the sell position, and computer, what you doing? All right, so let me pull out my arrow because this keeps switching. Right, so took this trade, entered the trade in a sell entry right here. Obviously we're gonna get this push down, then this pull back up. You gotta, with Forex it always does this, man. Like most of the time you're gonna get some pullback, but then we started moving in a range, pull down again, got the retest of my entry level, and then boom, Now we're moving down to the S4 level, right? Now what's happening here at the S4 level, which is this green line, this could be a support level right here. We have this big volume coming in here, so I gotta watch out for that. But this is a weak trend right here. All the fundamentals are saying that this is gonna be weak, right? And the US dollar is still pushing up, so it's just a matter of some people, I guess they think that this is a good little price for, they're trying to catch reversals, so some people jumping in here and making buys and stuff like that. Maybe they just want to scalp it up to this level and stuff like that, and they're gonna sell it again. But anyhow you take it, this is gonna go lower in my opinion, right? So eventually we're gonna break lower here, because if you look at this volume in this candle, right, and then we have a indecision kind of candle right here. It's not deciding to push up, it's not engulfing this prior selling candle right here. Look at this big selling candle, big wick and a push down, right? Then we have this massive volume, and it doesn't even compare with this prior candle. It doesn't even compare in size. It could barely move because it's under selling pressure, even though this is a blue volume candle signifying kind of like, I guess, buying. The selling pressure is definitely in there because they can't get the price to even break this level. Look at the volume on this one, right? Look at the volume on this candle compared to this volume right here. In reality, if it was all buying, this candle should be all the way up here, but that's not the case. We're still getting wick rejection, so it's about to break this level right here and keep pushing down. So, and I'm taking this kind of like a swing trade. This is not really a day trade because my target is kind of far, so I'm gonna hold on to this for probably a couple days and try and get to 0.66100, and the entry level is let's see, let's pull it up. Let's pull up the stats. So the entry level was 0.68570. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're trying to catch some pips on this one, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna take a little time. So I gotta be patient with this one, you know. So yeah, that's my trade, that's my live trade. I hope you all kinda understood how I broke it down. And they say when you could explain stuff is when you really understand stuff. If you could teach something is when you really understand it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still in the learning process as well. So anything you don't understand with this, you know, feel free to ask me a question, shoot me a DM at King Yadaya Capital, King underscore capital, what is it? King underscore Yadaya underscore capital LLC. That's my Instagram. I'm gonna put it in the description, you know what I'm saying? So if you have any questions and you want to try and get into Forex and trading and stuff like that, just hit me up. I'm gonna recommend some books for you to read, and you know, we could exchange ideas, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to learn as well. If you know more than me and stuff, and you want to point out certain things to me that I'm missing in this trade, you know, feel free, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my live trade on NZDUSD, you know what I'm saying? So y'all trade safe and stay blessed.